Well, happy friggin' Monday, everybody. Do you ever feel like your weekend just slipped away from you? You have no idea what happened over the weekend. You watched too much football, you ate too much, you went out and drank a little bit too much. Well, it's okay. Sit back, relax, because Dead on Dave is going to tell you everything that you missed this weekend. Let's get into it right here, right now on Dead on Dave Productions. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy, Dead on Dave, man, and welcome to your weekend wrap-up, whatever you want to call it, man. We're going to get through some of the biggest news stories in wrestling and sports right here, right now, because I ain't got nothing better to do. I got nothing better to do. You have nothing better to do, and frankly, I'm taking a little bit of a timeout from Fallout, man. You know, you're playing too much Fallout 4 when you're trying to make Nuka-Cola bombs out of your Coke cans. It's not good, man. It's not good. And not all dogs are feral either, so your neighborhood doesn't like when you try to, kill their dogs. So I had to stop for a little bit, but I'm going to get back into it right after this show. I just wanted to come and wrap up everything that's going on over the weekend, because a lot of things happened, man. A lot of things happened, and it was craziness. Just, we could do an entire football show, which I used to do, on just everything that happened in football yesterday on Sunday. My God, so many things happened. Upsets galore, really bad performances, a controversial endings to games. I mean, the Packers getting never-ending chances to win a game, yet they still lost it. Peyton Manning getting pulled. I mean, the scare alert for the Patriots. I mean, you name it. A lot of things happened. And Carolina finding another way to win. That game was a lot closer than that score, by the way. There's just so many things. It makes me sick that the Panthers are one of the only undefeated teams left. By the way, if you had a poll that you had Cincinnati and Carolina as your only remaining undefeateds, you just won. Cincinnati does play tonight. We don't know if they're going to be undefeated, but more than likely they will be. They should beat the holy hell out of Houston, but we'll see. Anyway, that's enough football talk. Let's get into the bigger news, man. Let's talk about Ronda Rousey. Let's start with that. Ronda Rousey got absolutely obliterated at UFC 193, and I think a shock to most people. I was pretty surprised by it to an extent. I said on Dead on Dave Live on Saturday night, I said if she gets into a stand-up situation with Holly Holm, tries to do nothing else, which I did not see why she would do that, she'd be in trouble. And sure enough, that's exactly what she did. And it's not even that she was in a full stand-up mode with her. It's the way that she approached it. She was going after her just relentlessly. She was chasing her, and you can't do that to somebody like Holly Holm. I don't know why Ronda actually lost this fight. I have my suspicions, and I do not think it has to do with her rigorous schedule and all that, because she has been the first person to say how well she's able to handle it and how no other woman would be able to handle the schedule that she's handled. Now, is it a case of her being Rocky III'd and just not being able to handle it? I don't think that's the case. I think Ronda is that type of person. She's very strong, that I don't think those things get to her. She looked like she was in great shape. I think she had a bad game plan and really didn't respect who Holly Holm was. I think Ronda is so used to taking on these women who have been playing catch up with her for so long. Now, she's fought some amazingly talented women. There's no question about that. Beto Carreira, she's one of the greatest female Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners in the world. She's great. But, it's a different situation when you're in there with somebody who is a legitimate world-class athlete just like you, and I think that's the difference. Holly Holm is the first world-class athlete that Ronda Rousey's had to fight. I believe that. She's the only woman that's on her level. Ronda Rousey, you got to remember, was a goddamn Olympian. Let's remember that for a second. She's an Olympian. And that means something. It means, at the very least, it means that you're one of the greatest athletes on the planet, warranting a spot in an Olympic team. Holly Holm, while never being an Olympian, certainly she's a multi-time champion in boxing. She's a Muay Thai practitioner. She's been a champion all over the world. She knows how to compete at the highest of high levels. And her being a little bit older, I think, helped as well. She's able to weather everything that Ronda brought to her. So am I in the camp that Ronda got Rocky III, bought into her own hype, and got beat because of it? I don't know. I think I'm more into the camp that Holly Holm just beat her. Holly Holm just beat her. She absolutely dominated her in this fight. It wasn't close. Ronda got absolutely brutalized. And, it is what it is. It is what it is. This is one of those situations. She got beat. She got. That's what happened. I don't think it gets much more than that. You can analyze the whys, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. She ran into a kick that she wasn't prepared for. You can't chase somebody around like that who is a great counter striker. And then when you're not, when your game plan isn't working, you have to be willing to change up plans. And I think that's something that Ronda really hasn't had to do, because even when she's been dragged into deep waters in the fights, which has been very rare, she's been mostly in control, and she's been able to always dictate and impose her will on the other woman. This wasn't happening here, and she didn't have a plan B. And I think more importantly, for on Holmes' side, everything that everything that Holly thought, everything she thought that Ronda was going to do, she did. And she was ready for it. Plain and simple. Plain and friggin' simple. It doesn't get more cut and dry than that. So, congratulations to Holly Holm, the new UFC bantamweight champion, and we'll see Ronda again. There's no question in my mind. We will see Ronda again. She's too good. There's too much money on the table. She'll be back. No question. Moving on. Legendary wrestler Nick Bockwinkel passed away over the weekend at 80 years old, man, which is a ripe old age for a wrestler. Let's face it, especially an old school wrestler. I didn't even know he was still alive. Nick Bockwinkel was one of those guys that I grew up watching. I mean, I was an AWA guy. I loved AWA. I loved NWA. I loved all that stuff. That's what I watched. I just sat on my dad's couch and watched these old tapes of these guys, and it was impressive. He was very impressive, and he was such a good heel. His pairing with Bobby the Brain Heenan was legendary. The smartest man in wrestling. I mean, the smartest wrestler on the planet is what he called himself, and he was very good at what he did. He had a legendary feud with the Mr. Larry Zbyszko, and of course, he's also the guy who stopped the 7-year run of Vern Gagne. So this guy did it all, and he got into the Hall of Fame in 2007, 2008. Fantastic career, even better life probably for Nick Bockwinkel. He's going to be remembered as one of the all-time greats, and I don't think his name gets mentioned near enough. It just doesn't. People don't talk about him near as much as they probably should. If you want to just learn about this guy and you want to see what he brought to the table and why he's so revered in the wrestling world, go watch him online. Go watch him on the network. I know some of his matches are there, but just go Google him. Watch some of his old stuff. Watch any of that feud with Larry Zbyszko. Watch his legendary matches with Vern Gagne and all these guys. He killed it in AWA. He did it all around the world. He had a fantastic career, and it's very sad that he passed away. But you know what? At least he led a very full and amazing life. So, Godspeed. Moving on. What else we got here? By the way, on one final note on that, I find it, people not caring as much about a death like Nick Bockwinkel. Jesus, my nose just deviated there for everybody to hear. it didn't get as much coverage as Dusty Rhodes or Roddy Piper, but in the wrestling industry, he had just as much of an impact. I mean, in a lot of ways, especially if you were a fan of AWA. I mean, he just did, and that's going to rub some people the wrong way, but it is truth. It is reality. But yet, I did shows on both Roddy Piper and Dusty Rhodes. I didn't do an individual show for Nick Bockwinkel. And I kind of feel bad about that fact. But the reality is, it's the same reason why, and I hate to make this comparison, but it's valid. This is just how human nature is. Why we hear about the attacks in Paris and why the world responds with, Frenching ourselves on YouTube or Facebook, and the flag being put up everywhere and all that stuff. There's reasons why that happens, and in Beirut, where people get blowed up, nobody puts a flag of Beirut on their lawn or anything like that. It's just, it's not that some lives matter more than others. It's some news just gets more attention and hits you harder than others. And it's something that doesn't get talked about enough because it's awkward. I mean, I just awkwarded myself by talking about it, but that's okay because I'm an awkward friggin' guy. That's what I do. That's what I do. I'm my best Mark Henry impression. Awkwarded it up again because that's what I do. All right, let's, what else we got here? Oh, yes, that's right. WWE star Randy Orton has once again entered the life of marital bliss. He got married to his longtime fiancee, Kim. She was fine as hell. It wasn't that long ago that him and her were both on Unfiltered with Renee. We got to meet her. She's very pretty and very nice and seemed to be calming those voices inside of Randy's head. So good for Randy. Congratulations. He's nursing a shoulder injury. Still has not had surgery. Do not know how long he's going to be out. But at least he is now married and taken care of in a good way, hopefully. I don't know a lot about this woman, Kim. I have no idea if this is going to work out. Randy, here's what I do know. Since he's been with her, he's been less of a dick. He doesn't get in trouble as much. He doesn't have as many issues, but that could also just come with age. And the fact that you're younger, you're a huge star, you get divorced, your star starts to fade a little bit, so you become a little bit of a dickhole. That's possible. However, with Randy, his popularity now is maybe higher than it's ever been before. Because of those damn RKO out of nowhere videos. Now everybody's RKOing everybody. You can't go to a football practice without seeing somebody try to RKO a teammate because everybody's fucking insane. So good for Randy. Congratulations, and I hope that I hope this one works out better than the last one. That's not even being mean. That's just reality. Ooh, we got another good one here. Billy Gunn, the one, Mr. Ass, got fired from the WWE. Again, this time probably more permanent because he failed a drug test. He tested hot for steroids in a bodybuilding competition. He's 50-something years old, still entering bodybuilding competitions. Good for him, but he's juicing. He got caught, suspended from bodybuilding competitions for, I believe, 6 months was a suspension. And WWE, even though he has not failed a wellness policy test, has been let go by the WWE. Now, the interesting thing about this is WWE does not test trainers and associates like that for steroids. Why the hell would they? These guys are in their 50s. What does it matter? But if you're subjecting yourself to those situations where you're doing competitions and you are being tested and you pop hot on a test, I think WWE is absolutely within their right to get rid of your ass. Because the reality is you cannot be representing the company in this climate if you have tested positive for steroids anytime recently. It's just reality. It's why Chael Sonnen doesn't make sense in the wrestling world. It's just reality. If you test positive for these performance-enhancing drugs, you should probably be kept away from certain situations that can influence younger audience members. That's the worry. That's the fear. And it's legitimate, but it's also one of those knee-jerk, slippery slope, crazy, the end is falling. Just because somebody said fire or said drugs, you're going to do drugs. I don't know why I said fire, but it's crazy. But at the same time, it does have some credence because when I was in high school, I played high school football. I took some stuff. It was all legal at the time. Most of it turned out to be illegal later. I was taking that andro shit, same as Mark McGuire, but it was before we knew that it was bad for you. So you try to get an advantage in sports. So, but if you get caught cheating, you got to sit. It's just the reality of the situation. So those are the big news stories of the weekends and concerned of wrestling and all that stuff. So there you go. Monday Night Raw tonight, kids. Monday Night Raw. Come check out Dead on Dave Live for your best Monday Night Raw review on all the interwebs. We'll be live taking your calls, answering your questions, and going through the copious amounts of notes right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Can't wait for that. We'll be live right after Monday Night Raw. Round 2 of the WWE World Heavyweight Title Tournament begins tonight. Probably wraps up tonight. They might do 2 matches here and 2 on SmackDown, but I say go ahead and do the entire thing because guess what, kids? It's Survivor Series week, man. It's Survivor Series week. And because of the injury to Seth Rollins, it means a little bit less, but hopefully Monday Night Raw will go a long way to making Survivor Series feel a little bit more important. We'll see. Hopefully, we're not going to get more Purple Lightning, but let's face it, we probably are. Other than that, that's all I got, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you guys for checking me out once again. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let the fat man know that you dig what he does. If you want to get in touch with me on Twitter, you can do so at DeadOnDaveV. You can also hit me up on Skype, David Vancura, DavidVancura, or check out the Facebook fan page, which should be somewhere here. In the description box below, all that information can be found. Go ahead and check me out. Also, if you want to get a shirt, go to www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. You can get the wonderful Pour Honey on Your Titties shirt. Look at that. Designed by the great graphics guru, Sal. That's right, Sal. He's with White Death Graphics. If you need any of these wonderful graphics that you see on your screen, if you have a project that you need done, he's your guy, man. Go ahead and get in touch with him and see what he can do for you. White Death Graphics. Go check him out. Also, congratulations to my good friend Tommy C. over at Shot from the Point. Had a really good show last night in his return to Shot from the Point Live. We haven't seen it in a couple weeks, but it's back and better than ever, and they had a really good show. So make sure you go check out Shot from the Point and Shot from the Point Live. Why do I bring it up? Not because I'm a good friend, because I'm a selfish prick. You see, because I'm also on Shot from the Point. I do a daily show with Tommy C. In the Crease with Tommy C. More about Davey V, though. And we do our hockey thing. And if you like the hockey thing, come on over there and we will do our thing together. We take your calls. We have a good time. We talk about everything that's going on in the world of ice hockey. And it's fun. So make sure you check that out as well. Other than that, that's all I got. And as always, I'm going to keep shoving Real Talk's junk down your throat, man, because December 17th, it's happening. But I don't need to tell you. I have a promo, so I'm going to play that. That's how we're going to go out once again on this show, so make sure you're prepared for that. Watch it and go download that shit on December 17th, 2015. Other than that, that's all I got. Like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Peace. Every so often, a musician emerges that changes the landscape of their genre, changes the definition of what is, alters the rules set by those who came before. That musician brings with him music that shatters the image of the status quo, music that transforms, music that ushers in new inspiration, new ideas, and new life. That musician and that music is here.
and the best in the biz.
Evil genius, what up?
Best in the world. December 17th, 2015, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah presents Black Mozart.